we got some laptops. So, what do we got in store today? So I was on eBay randomly around 2 weeks ago, and I found a really inordinate listing of a 2008 white MacBook 15-inch. Now, the reason why that listing stood out is because in the photos, it showed a 2010 MacBook, just a MacBook, 13-inch, and the listing was around like $10 with $20 shipping. And at the bottom, I saw that there was another laptop. It was like a silver 2006 through 2008, and I was curious, does it come with that laptop? So I decided, okay, well, it's worth a shot. I messaged the seller. He said, no, but I can include it for an extra $10. So I bought this pack of laptop for $20 plus $20 shipping, and I have not opened it yet. It arrived today. I am kind of curious because there is no packaging material in here, and I don't know how these laptops are going to turn out. So let's just open it up and see what happens. Let's just cut this packaging. I had to blur out the sticker so then my information would not get leaked. Okay, so, oh, the laptops are in here. Okay, awesome. Let's take a look. Okay, it is a 2010 of some sorts, 2009 to 2010. Let's just open it up, and I mean, it's in pretty good condition. It's very dirty, so that's that. We'll take a look at these more in a bit. So I'm gonna put this one off to the side. Let's take a look at the laptop that I've been wanting to get. This is oh boy, what is going on here? We have a laptop of some sorts. It looks like I actually don't know what it is. It's a MacBook Pro, of course. It's extremely dirty like the other one, and it seems to be in fairly decent condition apart from just the scratches. Oh my. Oh wow, this battery is not really meant to be like that, so let's just pop this out because I don't want this breaking everything. So it's missing its cover. Oh, it's a replacement battery. That explains it. Yeah, I don't know exactly what model this is so far, but we'll take a look at it. I'm actually kind of surprised these aren't as beat up as I thought they would be, considering that there's zero packaging material in this box. Came with this to, I guess, pad them against each other, and I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing else in here, so that wraps it up. Let's just quickly give these a power on, see what they have on them, and I guess I'll just list out the specs and we'll see what we have. Okay, we are back now. I just had to put some electrical tape on that battery because I didn't want it to fall out while I'm using it. And now I just need to quickly give it a wipe down of the screen so we can see the screen and not being so dirty. So just quickly wipe it down. I'm not going to clean the entire laptop just yet. I just want to make sure there's no dust on the screen so we get a better look at it. I have my charger over here, so I'm going to plug it in. Let's see, it goes in here. Awesome. Actually, I think it's better to put it on this side. Okay. Light is on. Perfect. Oh, it turned on. Okay, that's a good sign. Or I'm not sure. I mean, I never had just a Mac just turn on randomly like that. And let's see what's gonna happen. So, seems that it has booted in. The dock is very tiny. Let's take a look at what this laptop is. It is a Core 2 Duo, so I'm gonna put this off to the side and I'm just gonna zoom in on here, bring it over just a little bit. So it seems to have a 2.33 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo, 4 gigabytes of 667 megahertz DDR2 RAM, ATI Radeon X 1600 256 megabyte graphics card, and it seems to be running Lion. So I actually do want to quickly put this into a serial number checker. So I'm gonna quickly do that and I'm gonna be right. All right, so after a quick lookup, it seems that we have a MacBook Pro 15-inch, which is kind of obvious, and every Mac reports this as a late 2006. So I am a little sad that this is a, how do you say, it's not a 2008, because in the listing it did show that it was a 2008. At least that's what I hoped the seller did, because it wouldn't really make sense for this white MacBook to be a 2008. It's clearly a 2009 or 2010. But we can just kind of explore this guy for a little bit, see what's on here. Well, I'll still try to blur any information that if there is something personal, but let's just see what we got on here. So first order of business is to fix this god-awful dock. We're gonna do that real quickly. All right, perfect. So it's normal size now, and we see that we have Google Chrome on here and a newer iTunes. Let's check if Launchpad has something in here, and it doesn't really seem like there is. It's just a bog standard install of some sorts. I mean, apart from Google Chrome, I mean, we could open it. I'll just blur out if there is anything personal, which there doesn't seem to be. Let's just quickly give this a about Google Chrome, and this is version 49.0.2623.112. So very old Google Chrome version. We could actually go to theoldnet.com, and I do need to connect this up to Ethernet, so 1 second. All right, so it's connected. Let's go to the old net if I can. There we go. Okay, and I'm just gonna sign the guest book, since that's the type of thing that I normally do. So I'll do fetched. Hello, I am typing this from a late 2006 MacBook Pro. Let's sign the guest book. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's just quickly see when the last time this owner used this laptop. Let's see, 2017, 2020, nothing in documents. Let's quickly switch this to list so we can take a look at the, oh, seems like I can't do it like that. Okay, so it seems that this laptop was last used in August 14, 2020, and not past that, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot on here, so it's basically just a 2006 MacBook Pro, but still pretty cool to have for my collection, because I have, what's it called? I do have another 2010 MacBook, so this would be pretty interesting to take a look at. So let's just quickly switch over to the other MacBook, and I'll be right back. All right, so I moved the connector around just a little bit, and it seems to have been brought back to life. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Let's give it a power on, and let's see what we get on the screen. I'll just zoom in for you guys, so you guys get a better view. Oh, there's a CD in there. Okay. Let's give that a second to boot in. Okay, so it seems that there isn't any OS on this computer, at least from here so far. I'm gonna check that out because there's some kind of DVD in here. So it seems like there is a some sort of, I can hear the disc working, so let me just quickly check the disc, see if something does show up. If there is an installed macOS copy on here, then I'll just pop out that CD and we'll see what happens. So it seems that there is a drive on here. I don't know what's on it. I could probably just show it in info. Okay, so let me just pop out that CD. So let's just do this real quickly. If I can, I can't. Okay, let's just do startup disk. Okay, so there is nothing installed so far. So what I'm gonna do is I actually have a little SSD that I found. It has High Sierra on it. It is a 512 gigabyte SSD. So let's just quickly grab an adapter, presumably one of these. It is a SATA to USB adapter, and we're just gonna pop it in, and we're just gonna plug it into the computer and then boot off of it, since I don't really want to install macOS Snow Leopard right now. So let's just give that a second. And I'll just quit it real quickly, do quit macOS X installer, startup disk, and okay, so it seems like I'll just need to power off the machine, and hopefully we will be able to boot into High Sierra just to take a look at what this computer is. And we seem that we have oh, I have OpenCore on here, I completely forgot. Recovery 10.1. Okay, so something's just a little bit messed up on this computer, but that is fine. I hope it can boot in. I don't remember where I got this drive. I found it like recently, but I don't know what was on it. It had High Sierra, so I'm not sure why it's showing 10.9.1, but let's see if it boots in to something. The keycap just got pulled off. If I could get a better look at it, actually. Yeah, good enough. Okay. It seems to be broken. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I'm guessing it just needs to be popped in again. At least that's what I hope. It is extremely mushy. So now that we're back in, it seems to be some kind of utility. I'm not sure what it is. It seemingly pulled something off the internet, I think. Apple disk image, 1.5 gigabytes. We could just reinstall macOS, I guess, if it is a internet driver of some sorts. I do want to plug, let me see. It might be just the Ethernet cable is tripping out. Let's plug that in better. No, it is not wanting to connect to the internet. Perhaps I can. Oh, this is Mavericks, my bad. Okay. Let's see if there is any internet on here. Presumably there should be something. Let's do the oldnet.com. So it seems the internet's working, it's just that the installer is being stupid. So I guess we're just gonna reinstall Snow Leopard on this thing. I'm actually kind of interested because I haven't had a Snow Leopard computer for a while. but I kind of want to give this entire computer just a clean because it is extremely dirty, and clean the other one. So I guess we're just gonna do a little cleaning montage right now. This one's actually a lot more straightforward to take apart. You just have to grab just a flathead, or not a flathead, you can use a Phillips, and it has, what's it called? Around 1, 2, 3, 4, around 8 bolts. So it's fairly straightforward to take apart. Just gotta make sure not to strip the screws because it will be bad. Okay, so we got the cover off, or the screws removed. And now I believe it's just a matter of getting the clips off, which is a little bit more difficult than I'm expecting. There we go. Come on. There we go. A little bit dusty inside, but nothing we can't just quickly wipe off. And that is fairly good. I'll just get the rest of this stuff just a little bit cleaner. Okay. Let's check out how much RAM we have in here. I actually don't know. This has 2 gigabytes of RAM, it seems, which is kind of unimpressive. So I guess we could probably just stick with an older macOS installer for now, just so that we don't really kill it or overload it in a sense. So the way that you take these drives out, it's pretty simple. You just remove this screw right here, well, these screws are actually captive, so they're not that difficult to lose. So it's just a little bracket right there. Screws don't come out. And then all you do is just pop out the drive like so, remove its SATA connector, and all you gotta do is just transfer over these things. So I'm gonna grab an SSD out of my spare parts bin of sorts. There we go. And we'll just install macOS on there just to save on some time. Okay, got the SSD. This is just a 120 gigabyte drive. Nothing too crazy, which is perfectly fine. And it seems that we need a pentalobe bit because, well, Apple during this time was fine with you upgrading. They were starting to shift from upgradability, as in their newer models. You can't upgrade the CPU, can't upgrade the RAM, can't upgrade storage. I mean, while this one, you can't really upgrade the CPU unless you're DOS dude, or, I mean, apart from that CPU, everything else in here is sort of upgradable. I believe the Wi-Fi card is, in case you need, like, if you're running like Sonoma or something on here, you can upgrade it. But got the screws removed, so let's put the new ones on. Okay, and now all you do is just connect the SSD, or put it back into the slot. It kind of chills in there. And then you grab the adapter that you de-screwed just a little bit earlier. I believe it goes on like this, or no, it's the other way around. So you just put it in like so, and you just screw it in, and you're pretty much good to go from there. Oh, right, and you switch the bit back. Back to the Phillips, like so. And I think I may just put a little bit of Softy on the metal chassis, so then we don't really have it scratching our table. So I'm gonna do that in a second. So we got the feet put on, so it's less likely to scratch our table. So that's good. That laptop is currently doing something, so let's just quickly see what we got going on here. Although one thing I do notice about the screen on here is that it is a little bit interesting looking. I don't know what it could be. Oh, right. The charger is really finicky today for some reason. I don't know what's up with it. It's causing all the laptops to just unplug. Even though it's supposed to have a good connection. Okay. Let's see. This might take a while, but I do want to just disconnect this. I'll upgrade its SSD as well, so that we have something to go off of, and you know, we'll just focus on installing Mavericks on the white MacBook. So let's quickly unplug this from the charger. Let's connect the charger back on. Hopefully it won't be too finicky as well. There we go. Let's hold down Option. And what do we got going on? No light yet. There we go. It's powering on. Oh, that DVD drive sounds wonderful. Okay, so it seems that we have an error message like last time. So I'm gonna look it up, get that fixed, and we'll resume. All right, so we are back now. It is the next day. I proceeded to finish up installing macOS Snow Leopard on this computer, since it had no OS in the first place. And I've tried to install Mavericks the first time, but it wouldn't want to make an installer. So I thought, whatever, I'll just reuse the old CD that it came with that was in the disk drive right here. And it works surprisingly, even after getting the scratches from the other MacBook Pro. And I proceeded to install a macOS 10.6.8 combo update so we could install macOS Mavericks on here. And macOS Mavericks is right in here, and we'll just get that started. And yeah, in the meantime, while it's doing that, I'm just going to show you guys that this actually is a pretty cool little laptop. So basically, if we go to About This Mac, and more info, okay, well, I'll need to figure it out in a second, but either way, this is a MacBook 6,1, which is a 2010, luckily. It comes with a GeForce 9400M and 2 gigabytes of RAM, which I think we saw when we opened it up. And I mean, so far it's honestly working fine. The battery, unfortunately, isn't the best in this computer. It has around 419 cycles, which doesn't let it really last a long time, unfortunately, but it's enough just to get it going, unlike the other MacBook, which does not have any life in it in terms of battery. So let me quickly get that figured out. I'm gonna get that started, and then we're gonna set this laptop aside and we're gonna get back on the MacBook Pro. After a bit of fiddling around, I figured out that I need to set the time to February 2nd, 2016, and now we will be rebooting into, well, the installer to get it installed. Okay, it is restarted, and while it's doing that, I think we should just focus on the MacBook Pro for now. So let me bring that over right now. Okay, so it seems that we just rebooted back into the installer for no apparent reason. Let me try to copy it over fully. Maybe that would help. it has finished. Let's just restart it again, see what it does. So I guess if you have this issue as well, where the installer says that it can't verify that it's authentic, just set the time to 2016 and it should pretty much install. And I'm guessing it's just gonna restart. So this is gonna be put aside for right now, and we're gonna focus on the MacBook Pro. Okay, we are back now. So I guess we can just start with showing you what I've been working on. So in here, the keyboard comes off like so, and it lifts up. There's a little piece of Kapton tape on here, so you just unplug the keyboard connector like so, and that just lifts up like that. And we have that dead battery in here. I'm just gonna leave it in because this MacBook just generally doesn't like having its battery gone. They don't really work properly without it, so that's just gonna stay inside. Then we have the SSD that I've been working on. I do need to find its little adapter, or the thing that holds it in, so 1 second. Okay, so it was at the bottom of the drive again. Sometimes it just falls in and you just can't find it, but basically I just took one of the SSDs that I had laying around. It currently has Windows, I believe Windows 8.1 Enterprise on it, because that's just what was on it. I just had to bypass the password and stuff, and it works fine now. We're just gonna put the laptop back together because, as you can see in the pack of screws, I did have to take this laptop apart a pretty good amount just to get to the SSD. But I also had to turn or disconnect the the speaker, because I was working on it kind of late at night, so I didn't want to wake anyone else up. So let me quickly get this connectors plugged back in. Okay, that seems to be done. Now I will put back the SSD, so then we could wrap up and get the screws back in. It seems to be holding. Now I'm gonna put the bracket back in. This just screws it into the posts. So that goes in like that. And then I just need to grab the 2 screws. This laptop mostly consists of Pentalobe and Phillips. So it's not that hard to get into if you have a typical iFixit screwdriver kit, which is what I have here. And it can basically open up anything on this laptop. So let me put the other screw in, and then we're just gonna focus on getting the whole thing put back together. Last but not least, I'm gonna put in the battery, which I don't really trust, but I mean, it seems to have some kind of life in it, so let's see if the MacBook recognizes it. And it's a bit cleaner now, so I still don't know what's up with the Apple logo, but I think it's supposed to light up. Actually, I haven't checked it. But yeah, the battery just doesn't seem to want to work. I don't know what's up with it. It says that it's fully charged, but when I try to power it on, there's like no life. It just does not work. So not sure what's up with that. And we are at the desktop. So it's basically almost a plain install of Windows 8. I want to try Minecraft on here, see what else we could run. I did have to install this program just so then the fans don't really ramp up as much. But it does seem to be working well. It does have the amount of RAM in there, so let's quickly check it out. So we have 4 gigabytes, but only 3 is being used because it's being reserved 1 gigabyte for the graphics. The SSD seems to be doing fine as well, and we have a Intel Core 2 CPU. Really, it's not a Core 2 Quad or Duo. T7600 at 2.33 gigahertz, and it is a MacBook Pro 2.2. So pretty cool stuff. We're just gonna wait for Mavericks to finish installing on the white MacBook, and we're gonna get back to that. Well, it's been a little while. I didn't really expect this little video to get so far behind, but it has. It's been a little more than a month since I last recorded anything, and the reason for that was mostly to me finishing up school, particularly exams, and I've been waiting on a new battery for the MacBook Pro. I am glad to say that both laptops are clean and repasted, which means that they shouldn't die randomly during this video anymore. Now, where were we? Now that we have loaded into Minecraft, the fans are a bit loud, but sadly I can't really do much about it right now since I don't have a microphone that I could use just for my voice, so the phone is all I can do for now. But when it's not being too laggy, it is actually quite playable, and I actually just finished up installing some stairs over here, so that way I could get up to the, what's it called, the chicken farm that is in that house over there. And here we have our chest, and I will grab some diorite. I think I already have some, so basically just build a small little staircase, and well, yeah. This is actually a 1.21.5 server that I am playing on. I actually have a few mods installed that allow me to play on newer Minecraft versions while being on an older, client. So 1.16.5 is the client that I'm playing on, and 1.21.5 is the server. And apart from just some small little bugs, such as the chest going missing, which I could show right here. It does load in once you click on it, but if I click on, say, where was the item? Seems like I already burnt all of it, or smelted it, but basically when you have raw iron or any raw ore, it doesn't really know what to do with it, so it basically gives me the label of it, but it doesn't really know what to say about it. So like for these turtles, I know in older versions, it replaces them with ocelots, since turtles don't really exist in 1.12.2, I believe. So yeah, it does run better at times, sometimes worse, but I mean, for being a 20-year-old MacBook almost, it is not at all bad, considering when it does play good. So that is Minecraft. We'll just disconnect and try something else. And now we're going to be trying out YouTube, which is basically just Supreme running on Windows 8, and now we're going to see how well it plays a video. So this is running at 360p, which is not ideal. Let's try 720, and seems to be able to. Let's check the stats. 1 jobs frame, not terrible. Let's try 1080p. I think it's gonna struggle here, I'm pretty sure, but let's take a look. Stats, and it's not dropping. Only 8 frames when it was loading in. Well, now it's 10, but still not at all terrible. I would say not bad for YouTube playback when it's just 1080p. You could definitely run this at 720, so that way you just have less stutters that appear. But generally it's not at all terrible, like again, for being almost a 20-year-old MacBook. And I mean, apart from that, I mean, it is generally usable, especially with the new battery that I put in. This thing is basically perfect just to walk around with. I can unplug it, I can take it with me, and it all works fantastic. So that's the laptop right there. It's wonderful, it's clean. I put a few stickers on it, but here's the battery for it. Has some life in it, so yeah, it's a perfect little laptop now. Now we're gonna go back to the white MacBook and we're gonna check out how well it plays Minecraft and a little bit of YouTube. And here's the laptop. I took it recently on a road trip and it was not at all terrible to use. Playing Minecraft on it wasn't also bad when hooked up to a charger. And well, we're gonna see how well it plays Minecraft and a little bit of YouTube, so let's launch up Minecraft. Now, we have loaded back into Minecraft on the white MacBook, and I do have a few more mods installed on this laptop, just for fun, I guess you could say. I have Legacy 4J installed, which is basically, it just makes Minecraft into the Xbox 360/PS3 variant with the old crafting system, and you know, little character right here of mine showing me walking. And performance on here is better, but I do believe that the Legacy 4J mod, it can sometimes be a little slowing down with this on the system. So generally, like on older hardware, I don't really recommend it, but I just installed it just to see how well it would do. And apart from just some stutters, I can say that this one does run a lot better for being, I'd say, 3 years newer than the 2006 MacBook Pro. But, well, performance is also pretty good, and it is generally smoother. Pretty enjoyable. We can go and collect some, what's it called, some trees, just to see how good it could play. So let's collect some. And it's not terrible. Now that we are back on Google Chrome, I'm using Superium again, because, well, that's the only browser you can really use to get a modern experience on older Windows versions, and I recommend it if you have any older Windows version. I believe it goes from Windows XP to 11, so it is very support lengthwise, it's very good. And let's see how YouTube runs. So right here we have it running at 720p, and we can actually just check out the stats. So right now we only have 4 dropped when it was loading in the video, but right now it seems to be running perfectly fine. You can actually just zoom in or do full screen, and well, FPS seems to be fine as well. Everything's working. We can try out 1080, but since this is only a I believe 768 panel, it won't really get that much of a benefit from running at 1080p. So let's see how well this does. And it also does it pretty well. So for YouTube, this is also a pretty good laptop. The keyboards on these things, oh my, these keyboards are absolutely wonderful. They are very tactile. They're not at all hard to type on. And I actually fixed the caps lock key. I had to just take it apart and re-put it back on, and now all the keys are flush. And when this MacBook was cleaned up, I mean, it's basically really nice to use. I don't know how else I could explain it, but I really enjoyed making videos on these laptops because they're very enjoyable to use and kind of a nice nostalgia trip down to memory lane or something like that. But for $20, I can say that these laptops have been absolutely amazing for the price. I honestly really enjoyed using them. And well, I do have a new video idea in mind. This one will be kind of expensive, but it is going to be a little retrospect into a kind of a really expensive Apple product. A lot newer, but still very cool. I'm just saving up some money for it, and well, if all goes to plan, I'll make a nice video about it, and hopefully by that next video there'll be a proper voiceover and you won't be hearing this terrible iPhone mic quality anymore. So I'm really excited. And well, I mean, this is kind of the end of the video, so if you liked it, subscribe. I don't really have a lot of subscribers right now because that last video wasn't exactly great. This one really isn't any better, I would say. It's still pretty long in terms of view length, so yeah, if you like it, subscribe, like the video, share if you liked it that much. But yeah, I wish you all a good day or night, and Bye-bye.